Dana White, UFC brand is now worth $7 billion after the ESPN deal.
I bet.
Really, $7 billion?
Well, it was worth $4 billion.
Yeah, 4.025.
And now
then it was
ESPN ups the.
ESPN worth 1.5 billion over 5 years. Anyhow,
he's a promoter, so there's gonna be there's no fact checking here. This is all bro science from him. I'm sure it's worth more when you sign on with a company like ESPN, which is owned by Disney. It's definitely going to add value to your product. According to White, the most financial lucrative year in company history had UFC's new state television deal. Okay, when you think about it, we haven't even scratched the surface on yet how big this thing can be. God, I disagree. We just did a TV deal with ESPN for $1.5 billion in 5 years. That company's worth $7 billion. I don't know their numbers. I mean, I have a hard time believing that we don't know where this thing's going to be, or they haven't scratched the surface. They've definitely scratched the surface. I think now they have to figure out how to stay more relevant and not oversaturate the market and continue to grow. It's worth more signing with ESPN. What else you got, Jim?
All right, this one, Tom Lawler. If you remember, he was suspended about 2 years ago.
Yeah,
for Ostering, which is a SARM.
I like Tom.
Okay, so he asked to be. He's funny. He has a great personality, and all his walkout stuff is great.
He has a podcast.
Possibly.
He used to do a podcast. All right, keep going.
Okay, so he was suspended, and then he did ask for his release so he can continue his career on somewhere else. And he does a lot of professional wrestling type of joking kind of stuff. So the UFC didn't release him, but now that the suspension's almost over, they finally decided to let him go.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? So
they waited
to 2 months later he would be clean. Like his suspension would be served, but then they decided to begin the process of letting him go now.
It's not that big of a deal because he can't compete while he's under suspension anyways.
If he went to wrestling stuff or Japan, maybe.
You do wrestling no matter what though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the only reason why this is of note is because I guess it would delay the deals, if you didn't know if he was going to get...
I'm taking that information with a grain of salt. The UFC is worth $7 billion now. Shouldn't that be a Forbes headline? I mean, that literally means that from the sale of the UFC, Dana has managed to grow the business, 80-90% again. And again, let's not... As an MMA fan, I'm a fan of a great fight, so I don't pay attention to the numbers. But as a person who watches Below the Belt, shout out to Below the Belt, shout out to Chin, shout out to Brendan Schaub. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe. While you're subscribing, subscribe to my channel. Back to the topic at hand. That means, okay, I don't pay attention to the numbers. Brendan Schaub does, and I catch the numbers every now and then. They recently had a good time with this TJ Dillashaw Cody Garbrandt. Every other fight card, every other pay-per-view, haven't they all been dog shit? I mean, I don't know. Am I wrong? I know the Yoel Romero Whitaker 2, easily the best fight of the year. That was one of the worst pay-per-views this year. So I don't understand who's saying what now. But again, I don't know how they measure net worth. Do they measure net worth by new contracts or general business performance? I don't know. So, let's say all of this is true, right? This is great for MMA. Yeah, in a way. In a way, it's great if they can find a way to create more corners. And what I mean by more corners is they need more cash cows. But they need cash cows who are based on talent, not hype. Again, I'm not a Conor McGregor fan, right? I'm a fan of what he represents in MMA. You know what I'm saying? As for him as a fighter, I'm not sold yet. I don't know why. But moving on from that. If they can find a John Jones and turn him into a Conor McGregor-like character, a young John Jones at any weight division, right? That would ultimately, to me, would prove their $7 billion status. Because now they can actually create pay-per-views that go with that money. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I am out.
We got one out of two of them motherfuckers, you know.
You mean you motherfuckers come strolling in here all walking tall and shit?
Yo, B.I., man, I'm saying, man, we was blazing on them dudes, man, you know what I'm saying? Just got in the heat, man. We was blazing, though. It was like...
All right, relax.